श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विशेषभवरोगिणां निधिः सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभः निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्यैः सर्वदा। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नमो धर्माय महदे नमः कृष्णाय वेदसे ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमस्कृत्य धर्मान् वक्ष्यामि शाश्वताम्। नमो भगवते तस्मै व्यासाय मितदेशे यस्य प्रसादात् वक्ष्यामि नारायणकथां विभाम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. So previously we were looking at Drona-Parva, the battle that was taking place. Arjuna was chasing some Shiptakas at that time. Drona was destroying the Panchala forces. Everyone that's coming ahead of him, he was destroying. But Pandavas all together again and again united. Once again, they came for resisting Drona. Drona twice he neared Yudhishthira, but then Yudhishthira ran away, went away from him so that others can resist him. So that the battle continued. At that time, Dhritarashtra asks Sanjaya how all these Pandavas came, what are their distinctive character visible, how did they were identified, what type of horses they were on, standards, flags they were carrying in their chariots and things like that. And Sanjay was narrating that. So we're looking at that. Just taking a little bit break from the battlefield, the arrows and maces and horses and things like that. We're looking a little bit break. So we'll continue with that and conclude that part and then resume the battle. So Sanjay, after narrating all the different types of standards and horses, colors that came, then he talks about the bows the Pandava warriors they were holding. Yudhishthira in his hand, he held a bow called Mahendra. Bhima had a celestial bow called Vayuvya, and then Arjuna, you all know, had a bow, celestial bow. It's called. What is Arjuna's bow called?
Gandiva.
So Arjuna was holding Gandiva, and then Vaishnava was in the hand of Nakula. Ashwina was held by Sahadeva, and then Pulastya, a bow called Pulastya, was held by Gadodgaja, and then Draupadi's sons, they were holding Raudra, Agneya, Koberya, Yamya, Grisha. So these 5 bows, celestial bows, were held by them, and then Abhimanyu was holding a bow called Raudra, which was given to him by Balarama. So that bow he was holding. So like this, those Pandava warriors with all the other Panchala troops and other kings supporting them, all of them, they were resisting Drona. And then at the command of Drona, the Kauravas again were attacking that Panchala forces. So now we return to the battle again. So in that battle, Drupada, leading a mighty strong division, he goes against Drona. So 2 old people, they were fighting with all their strength. And then Vinda, Anuvinda, they were battling Virata. So again, in that battle, both of them were striking Virata, and Virata, on the other hand, was facing up to them like Indra facing Bali, Indra and Agni facing Bali previously in the battle, celestial battle. And then Bhutakarman, also known as Sabhapati, was facing, he was keeping Drona away. And then Nakula's son Shatanika comes there, and he has battle with Bhutakarman. And then Shatanika, in that battle, he kills Bhutakarman with the sharp arrows. Then Vivinsati, he goes after in the battle with Sutsoma, Arjuna's son, and he strikes him, his uncle Vivinsati, his uncle, because Vivinsati is Duryodhana's brother. So he strikes him with straight arrows, and then Bhimarata has a battle with Shalva, and then that Duryodhana's brother Bhimarata kills Shalva along with his charioteer in that battle. Chitrasena's son, that is again Duryodhana, Duryodhana's brother. So his son was having battle with Shritakarman, who is Bhima's son. So again, both of them are having a great battle in that, trying to kill each other. Prativindya, he was having battle with Ashwatthama, and he strikes at Ashwatthama with sharp arrows, and then Ashwatthama angrily strikes back at Prativindya. So like this, those two battle. And then Dushasana's son, Sanjay here does not name him. So Dushasana's son, he has battle with Sahadeva's son Shrutakirti. And again, there, sorry, Shrutakirti, I got wrong here. Shrutakirti here. Arjuna's son, so he was having that battle there. So with Dushasana's son, so they were having great battle. And then Duryodhana's son Lakshmana, he was resisting the king of Pachattaras, Patacharas. So he was having battle with them. Vikarna was having battle with Shikandi. Angada was resisting Uttamaoja. Durmaka was having battle with Purujit. And then in that battle, Purujit strikes Durmaka between his eyebrows, and then blood starts flowing from Durmaka's face. Karna was battling five Kekaya brothers. Again, Karna covers them with arrows, and in return, they cover Karna with arrows. Like this, nobody could be seen. Horses, charioteers, standards, anything could be seen in that shower of arrows that was flowing through. Then Duryodhana's brothers Durjaya, Jaya, Vijaya, Neela, and they were battling. Durjaya, Jaya, Vijaya. They were battling against on the Pandava side, Neela, and then King Kashi, and Jayasena. They were battling them. Then the brothers Kshemadruti, Brihanta, they were battling Satyaki, and then again Satyaki was fighting back against those two. Chedi King, he was battling King of Ambasta. Again, Ambasta was hurt in that battlefield by the Chedi King. And then Kripa was battling against Vardakshimi. So like this, the battle continued, and then Bhurishrava was battling against Manimat, and then in that battle, Manimat cuts off the bowstring, standard, banner, charioteer, and the umbrella of Bhurishrava. And then at that time, Bhurishrava falls down from his chariot, and then taking a sword, he runs towards Manimat, and then he jumps onto Manimat's chariot, and then he cuts off with his large arrows. He cuts off the horses, charioteer, standard, and the chariot itself of Manimat. Then again, reascending on his own chariot, taking hold of his own horses, he starts to destroy the Panchala forces, Yudhishthira's army that is supporting. And then Karna's son Vrishasena, he goes against Yudhishthira himself. Like this, the battle continues there with many things. So then Ghatotkacha, with maces, with spiked burgeons, swords, axes, stones, short clubs. Look at the types of weapons Ghatotkacha is carrying. Short clubs, mallets, discs, short arrows, battle axes, with dust and wind, fire, water, ashes, brickbats, straw, trees, all this. And then again, with all those things, Ghatotkacha was terrifying. He was trying to get near Drona. At that time, Rakshasa Alambasha resists him, and then both of them, again with a lot of illusions and Rakshasa type warriors, they fight each other. So like this, the battle continued between them, between the Dronas bringing the Kaurava forces, and then the Pandavas trying to resist Drona and his forces so that he cannot reach Yudhishthira. But on the Panchala side, they were all united towards Drona's destruction, and they were fighting like that. So Dhritarashtra at this time asks Sanjaya, how did all those troops engaged, and how all they fought each other, and how did Arjuna and the warriors, they all fight? How did all the Pandavas fight? What did Arjuna do towards the Samshaptakas where he was going in that battle? And what did Samshaptakas in return do to Arjuna, and what all happened? So Sanjay continues his narration. He says that when they were engaged in that battle like that, Duryodhana himself, he rushes against Bhima, and then the battle takes place between them to Bhima with desire of killing Duryodhana in that battle. He goes after Duryodhana, and then he quickly breaks the elephant division that was coming with Duryodhana. And then all the elephants like that, hurt by Bhima's arrows, all of them were started turning back and running away. As they were running, they started crushing Kaurava foot soldiers, the horse riders, and everybody. They started crushing like that in that stampede. So then Bhima, in that battle, he destroys that elephant division that came with Duryodhana, and Duryodhana becomes very angry, and then he started striking Bhima. Then Bhima again, in angrily, he starts fighting Duryodhana. So he cuts off Duryodhana's bow with bow, and also his standard, which had a jeweled elephant in it, flag sword with various kinds of gems. So he cuts off that. Seeing this, king, ruler of Angas, he comes there and he starts battling with Bhima. Then Bhima fights him. The elephant that the king of Angas was coming on, he strikes that elephant with the arrow, and with that the elephant falls down. And as it was falling down, the ruler of Anga was also falling down. As he was falling down, Bhima, with a sharp arrow, broad-headed arrow, he cuts off the head of that king of Anga's head. So like this, he dies, and then the elephant division that was supporting the Angas, they all started running away. At that time, like this, the troops being destroyed by Bhima, Bhagadatta comes there, and then Bhagadatta with his elephant Supratika, he comes there on that elephant, and then he starts having battle with Bhima. So, and in that battle again, this Supratika is a very special elephant. Okay, so Mahabharata does not explain a little bit more about this, but we see in some version of Bhagavata Purana, we see that Krishna, after killing Narakasura, he got 60 elephants. All of them were from Airavata's pedigree. All of them were of Airavata's pedigree and that descent. So Indra's elephants descent, all of them having 4 tusks, and like Airavata, very strong, and nobody could hurt them or kill them. Such elephants were 60 of them were there, and there was some versions of Bhagavata Purana. It talks about Krishna gifting one such elephant to Narakasura's son Bhagadatta. Okay, so this elephant Supratika is that's some versions of Bhagavatam. Again, it's not there in everything, so of this elephant, but here we in Mahabharata we saw this in Drona Bhishma Parva as well, and here as well. This Supratika is a very strong elephant, and nobody could resist that elephant. So Bhagadatta coming on that elephant, he comes and he pounds on Bhima's chariot, and then with horses, all of that turned into dust by that elephant. Then Bhima runs towards that elephant and goes under that body of that elephant, and from there he starts fighting. So using a technique called Anjalika Beda, he starts fighting that elephant from the under, staying below that elephant's body. He starts fighting. So striking that elephant, and again that elephant through his getting hold of Bhima from his trunk and holds Bhima on his neck and is about to smash. At that time, Bhima twists the trunk of the elephant and then gets escaped from that elephant, throws him down by its knees. So again, Bhima, once again, he gets under the body of that elephant and he tries to get away from the elephant. As the elephant moves, he also moves. So like this, he tries to escape from that and waiting for someone else to take attention of that Supratika so that he can escape from that battlefield. So, like this Bhima, in that under that elephant's body, he comes out when there was some other elephants attacking Supratika. So he runs away from that. While he was doing like that, all the people thought Bhima has been killed by that elephant, and all of them were frightened. Seeing this, Yudhishthira, thinking that Bhima has been killed, he goes after Bhagadatta from all sides with his troops, with the Panchalas and everybody. And then Bhagadatta, with his sharp arrows, he starts hurting Yudhishthira and the troops that came there. At that time, king of Dasharnas, he comes there and he takes over from Yudhishthira and starts fighting with Bhagadatta. Bhagadatta uh, with his elephant, riding on his elephant, he kills kings of Dasharnas in that battle with a sharp arrow, and then with his elephant he kills him. Then Bhagadatta, with many arrows, he strikes Yudhishthira and Yudhishthira as well, surrounds him from all the sides with his Panchala forces and starts having battle with Bhagadatta. So Bhagadatta in that battle again urges his elephant towards Yudhishthira, and at that time again he strikes at Satyaki, and Satyaki's chariot again is destroyed. At that time Satyaki escapes from that with his charioteer. He escapes from that chariot just in time. So elephant again coming out and destroying all the chariots, warriors that's coming towards that elephant keeps destroying. Bhagadatta sitting on that elephant, he like Indra sitting on the Airavata, has battle with these people that's coming there. And then Bhima once again rushes towards that battle with against Bhagadatta, and then in that fight again he Bhima again was fighting, but that time Bhagadatta's elephant Supratika taking a large amount of water through his trunk, it forces that water towards, sprouts that water towards Bhima, and then with that Bhima's horses scared and they run away from that battle. So this again, that elephant is so strong that it's like a fire engine. So it throws that much water, and then that takes Bhima's horses, scares Bhima's horses, and it runs away. Then Kriti's son Ruchiparva comes there. He has battle with Bhagadatta, and Bhagadatta with sharp arrows. He kills Ruchiparva with straight arrow and sends him to Yama's place. Then Abhimanyu comes there, and also Draupadi's sons, Chekitana, Drishtaketu, Yutsu, all of them come there and has battle. And Bhagadatta sitting on that elephant with his heel, with the hook, and with his toe, he starts giving instruction to his elephant on what to do and things like that. So again, horses you control with the goad you have, and the whip you have, you control with that, how to move and things like that. But with elephants, while sitting on that, you using your toes and the hook that's going to be there, or the heel of your foot, you give the instruction what to do to that elephant. So then you used to horses were destroyed, and also the chariot was killed by that elephant, and used to abandoning his chariot, runs away, and then he goes against Abhimanyu's chariot, and then Abhimanyu again in that battlefield, he fights with dozens of arrows, and then Yudhishthira again coming back strikes with 10. Draupadi's son with 3 arrows. Drishtaketu strikes him with 3, but elephant again taking all this did not do anything. It did not care, so it continued to destroy the Panchala forces. So the elephants on the Pandava side, chariot riders, horses, kings, everybody started running away from that battlefield. So seeing all this, Arjuna senses that Bhagadatta is destroying the forces, and he tells Krishna that while it looks like Bhagadatta and his elephant They are advancing, and the Pandava forces, everybody is screaming, and the elephant horses, everybody is screaming. That I can hear it is because of Bhagadatta and his elephant. Again, it is there is no rival to that, so that elephant will not get any tiredness or any weapons cannot hurt it. So it is such a elephant. So only except two of us, nobody else knows how to check Bhagadatta and his elephant. So it is very difficult. So this definitely on this day, I will definitely go and kill Bhagadatta. So that's what Arjuna says, and he asks Krishna to go towards Bhagadatta. And as he feared that some Saptakas who were fighting with him, either some of them ran away or some of them fainted and injured and things like that, Krishna started going towards Bhagadatta at that time. 10,000, 14,000 Samshaptakas, which is made up of 10,000 Gopalas from who previously used to follow Krishna. All of them came there, and then again, once again, they challenged Arjuna for a battle. So they were running away, but then again, Susharman and others asked them to come back, so encouraged them to come back. So they came back and challenged Arjuna again. Seeing this, Arjuna thinks once more time what to do, what should I do now? Whether I should go against the Samshaptakas or go and rescue Yudhishthira and from that Bhagadatta and his elephant. So reflecting again on this, for a little while, Arjuna tells Krishna that he will destroy all those Samshaptakas in the day, and then he asks Krishna. With that, Krishna starts going after those, turns the chariot, and he goes after that. Seeing this, Arjuna then against those 14,000 chariot riders with the other horses, horse riders, foot soldiers, and everybody, that army that came there, Arjuna releases the Brahma weapon, and with that Brahmastra, he hundreds and thousands arms with bows and arrows, bowstrings, everything, all that were cut off from trunks, hundreds and thousands, hundreds and hundreds of standards, horses, charioteers, car warriors, everybody fell on the ground. So like this, Arjuna destroys that army that came there, some Shaptakas that came there, he destroys everybody. So with broad-headed arrows, countless arms, everything Arjuna cuts off, and Arjuna like this in angrily destroys that entire force that came there challenging Arjuna. And everybody seeing this battle, saying, excellent, excellent. They all praised Arjuna for that. Seeing this, all that Arjuna again battling like that, seeing that Krishna wondered much and addresses him and saying that what you have achieved in this battle is equal to what Indra probably would do, or Yama would do, or Kubera probably would not be able to do. Such a thing you have done, and Krishna also praises him. And then then Arjuna tells Krishna that let's go towards Bhagadatta now. So these people have been destroyed, so let's go towards Bhagadatta. So as Arjuna was again heading towards Krishna Bhagadatta, at that time again Susharman with his brothers, he comes there from behind, and then he again asks for a battle from Arjuna. So Arjuna again thinks what to do at this time, whether Susharman here asking again for the battle, or should I go towards Arjuna, Drona in the northern side, Drona is battling, whether I should go there, or should I stay here in the southern side of the battlefield against the Samshaptakas? What should be better? What should I do? And while he was deliberating on this, Krishna turns his chariot towards Trigartas, and then Arjuna strikes Susharman with 7 arrows, cuts off his bow standard with couple of arrows. Then with 6 arrows, he dispatches the brothers of Trigarta, Susharman. He sends them to Yama's place. He kills them. So then he aims at Susharman arrows, and Susharman also strikes a arrow made of iron, looking like a snake, coming towards, aiming at Krishna as well, and he also lands towards Krishna. So Arjuna cuts off those things, and then with using sharp arrows, he makes Susharman faint on his chariot. So after this, Arjuna turns towards Bhagadatta. So like this, Arjuna in that battlefield, uh, defeating those Samshaptakas, he comes towards to where Bhagadatta was battling on the northern side of the battlefield, and there he comes, and then with with Arjuna coming, Kaurava warriors, all of them broke. So broke in the sense they all started running away in all directions with Arjuna coming. Tens of thousands of bowmen, all of them tried to go against Arjuna, but again Arjuna faces all of them and he started having battle with them. Then Arjuna in that battlefield, he uh, uh, goes against Bhagadatta, who was crushing all the Pandava warriors. And Arjuna in that battlefield, he again, a great battle takes place between Arjuna and Bhagadatta on his elephant. The both of them trying to kill each other, strikes one another with all type of celestial weapons and things like that. Then Bhagadatta pours a large amount of arrows on Arjuna and Krishna, and then again Krishna. But again, Arjuna resists all those, cuts all those arrow shower, and then strikes again with arrows of his own. But Bhagadatta, once more with arrow shower, he strikes Arjuna and also strikes both Krishna and Arjuna with large number of arrows. Then Bhagadatta urges his elephant Supratika towards Krishna and Arjuna to destroy them. Seeing that the elephant coming like that, Krishna immediately moves his chariot and goes behind to the left side of Bhagadatta to that elephant. So as he goes there, Arjuna had an opportunity to strike at Bhagadatta, but Arjuna, remembering the rules of the battlefield where one should not strike from behind, he does not strike Bhagadatta, and he waits for Bhagadatta to turn around so that he could see him and then have the battle. So like this, Arjuna does not strike and he waits, and then Dhritarashtra becomes very curious. He asks, how did those two battle? Sanjaya continues his narration. He says that again, while Krishna and Arjuna were engaged like that, Bhagadatta with large number of arrows, he strikes Krishna, both Krishnas, and then he strikes Krishna, Devaki's son Krishna, with arrow made of black iron, and then those arrows again come off, and again Arjuna cuts off Bhagadatta's bow, killing also the protectors of the elephants on the sides who were there that's protecting the elephant and Bhagadatta. He kills all of them. And then Arjuna cuts open the armor of that elephant. So elephant again had a case which was protecting it from all the attacks that's coming through. So he cuts open, he destroys that, and with a thick shower of arrows, he destroys and it falls down on the ground. And with that coat of mail destroyed, elephant now looked with all the blood and everything, it looked beautiful, Sanjay explains. Then Arjuna Arjuna receives a large number of arrows again from made of holy iron with gold decked arrows from Bhagadatta. But cutting all of that, he strikes at Bhagadatta's standards, umbrella, and Arjuna strikes at the elephant itself. Then again, Bhagadatta hurls many lances at Arjuna's head, and those lances coming and taking away Arjuna's diadem, his crown, on his head. It displaces it, and Arjuna again putting it back on his head, he says that look at this world, because today is the last time you're going to see. You're not going to see it on one more day. So saying that, Arjuna becomes very angry. He started striking at Bhagadatta as well, with angrily hearing that, he started attacking Arjuna and Krishna angrily with more and more arrows. And Arjuna then cuts off Bhagadatta's bows and quivers and quickly strikes with 72 arrows the limbs of Bhagadatta. then he strikes with when that was struck by Arjuna. Bhagadatta was pained by those things. Then angrily, he takes up the Vaishnava weapon, and in that weapon, he hurls that towards Arjuna. And as that arrow was approaching, Krishna stands up and takes that weapon on him, and that weapon becomes a garland on Krishna's neck. So it turns into a garland. So then at that time, Arjuna addresses Krishna saying that, why did you do this? You told that you are not going to participate in this battle apart from being a charioteer. Why did you do that? Why did you break your promise? As long as I am battling, you should not take up any weapon, because otherwise it will be shame on me that I could not resist those things. So you should not have done this. As long as I am battling, please don't do this. And why did you do that? He asked that. At that time, Krishna narrates the details of this. He says that there is a secret and ancient story history to this. I have 4 forms. Eternally, I'm engaged in the protecting this world through these 4 forms, dividing myself as 4 forms I protect. The first form of mine that stays on the earth, which is engaged in the ascetic austerities like the Rishi's form and things like that as a Narayana Rishi. And then the other form looks at the good and evil of the world. And the third form of mine is engaged in action, like taking avatar and protecting or destruction of the world. And the fourth form is the one that lies down deep in the deep sleep for 1,000 years at the end of the yugas, when the pralaya happens. And that form, that fourth form, when it wakes up at the end of 1,000 yugas, it grants upon awakening, it grants the boons to deserving people. At that time, Prithvi, knowing that occasion, once she came to me and she asked for a boon for her son Naraka, saying that you give me a boon so that my son, having this Vaishnava weapon, let him become the unslayable. As long as he holds that, let him become unslayable. So, like this, Prithvi asks for this. So, hearing her prayers, I gave the Vaishnava weapon to Prithvi's son Naraka, and also told him that this weapon will be infallible. Nobody can defeat this weapon, and it will protect Naraka, and no one will be able to kill him as long as he has that weapon. And protected this weapon, again he will become invincible in 3 words. So saying this, Prithvi became very happy that her son is protected. And this Naraka gave this weapon to his son, Bhagadatta. So there is nobody in this world, including Indra and Rudra, who can kill while this weapon was held by someone. And that's why I took that weapon for your sake. That's what Krishna says. I took this because Vaishnava weapon it is Narayana's weapon only. So that's why it came and it became a garland to Krishna. It came to the one originally who gave that weapon away. So it came back to him. So that's why it became a garland to him. And then Krishna says that this Bhagadatta has been divested. He does not have the supreme weapon. So now kill him. So again, formally, I killed Naraka for the benefit of the Devatas. Now you kill his son, Bhagadatta. So when he says that, Arjuna suddenly starts attacking Bhagadatta with all sort of arrows. Then he strikes with a long arrow. He strikes the elephant Supratika in the head, frontal lobes in the head. He strikes, and with that the elephant starts falling down. And as he falls down on the earth, and it gives up its life, it dies. And at that time, again, Arjuna takes a crescent-shaped arrow and he strikes Bhagadatta. And that arrow piercing through Bhagadatta's breast, it kills him as well, and then Bhagadatta, along with, as the elephant was falling down, Bhagadatta as well falls down from that uh, elephant, and also he dies in that battlefield. So, like this, Bhagadatta and his elephant were killed by Arjuna on this day of this battlefield. So, just to give a little bit other background, so Prithvi's son, Prithvi, we just looked at the story here, right? So Prithvi was kidnapped by Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu's elder brother. Okay, so Diti's son. So he was kidnapped. So Prithvi, at that time, Vishnu comes in the Varaha form. He has battle with Hiranyaksha for many thousand yugas, and then he kills Hiranyaksha and then rescues Prithvi. Okay, and Prithvi's son, Naraka, is also known as Vishnu's son, right? He's Vishnu's son. Prithvi also at that time gets a boon from Varaha Rupa Vishnu, Varaha form Vishnu, that again, Krishna at that time, Vishnu says that I will not kill him as long as you give permission to kill him, to Narakasura, right? So when in Krishna Avatara, Narakasura was troubling Devatas and everybody, so Krishna takes Satyabhama along with him and goes after Narakasura in the battle. Okay, so in that battlefield, they have many days of battle, and then Krishna could not kill him because he had promised that as long as Prithvi tells him to kill, he is not going to kill, right? So Krishna has battle, so he makes an idea. So he takes a weapon, an arrow coming from Narakasura. He takes that, and that injures Krishna. So he takes a weapon on him. He does not resist it, so it comes and strikes Krishna. Seeing him injured, Satyabhama, seeing her husband injured, immediately tells that kill this Naraka. So Satyabhama is Prithvi's another form, right? So she tells him that kill this Naraka. So with her permission, Krishna then kills Narakasura. So this again, this is the one day of Deepavali festival where we celebrate, right? So Naraka Chaturdashi, that's the day Krishna killed Narakasura and freed 16,000 women that were held captive by maidens, so girls held captive by Narakasura. He marries all of them. So that's the day Narakasura was killed. That's why we do Abhimanyu Snana and things like that as part of Deepavali festival. So that's the story background to Narakasura killing. And then here, his son Bhagadatta was killed, and as Bhagadatta was killed, after Bhagadatta was killed, because Bhagadatta was brave and he was a friend of Indra as well, Arjuna goes around him and worships him and does a namaskara to him, and then resumes his battle. So as Bhagadatta was killed, Gandhara forces with Shakuni and his brothers Vrishaka and Achala, they come and start attacking Arjuna from front and from behind and from all directions. They start attacking Arjuna, and we will look at that attack, Arjuna's battle against them next time. Any questions for today?